nobody is going to give you a push. You have to take your own push. Because उन लोग के पेरेंट्स जो हैं वो इतने बिजी हैं अपनी लाइफ से लड़ने में कि वो भूल जाते हैं कि उन्होंने बच्चों को ये सब चीजें भी देनी है, क्योंकि उनके पास टाइम नहीं है। देते हैं वो, बट उस तरह से नहीं। तो इनको हमें और सोशली रिस्पॉन्सिबल अगर इन बच्चों को हम बना दें, तो कल को जो हम देखते हैं अपने अराउंड कि हम वी आर ट्रैवलिंग ऑन द रोड, इसे कि भाई इन्होंने गाड़ी कैसे खड़ी कर दी, समवन इज स्पिटिंग सम प्लेस, ड्राइविंग कैसे करते हैं ये लोग, looking at the women, how they are looking at, not giving respect to elders and the way to vehicle coming behind. This is all education.
Hello audience, today we have Mr. Amit Sachdeva with us. Sir is a social entrepreneur and leading authority on corporate social responsibility and business sustainability. Before founding his non-profit venture Charitnation, he founded Live Week, a social impact company, and many other successful social platforms like Mahatma Award, CSR Live Week, NGO Expo, and school admission platform SchoolX. Sir is currently the editor of Social Good Book and CSR Good Book. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ishita, for inviting me on this platform. And Mitti Ke Rang is doing such a great, wonderful job. And I'm proud to be here today. You can shoot the question to me.
Okay. So let's start about me asking you about your childhood. Like, how was it? What were your aspirations as a child?
So, I as a child, I was energetic, of course, naughty as well, and very social with a lot of friends. And, coming from a affluent background, I had all the, good things, what one can aspire for. But, I come from a very retail business family where, more stress is given that after parents, you have to go and handle that business.
Right.
So, in our family, we have been raised like with that thought process, not giving very importance to other things and your interest. Simply you, finish your education and sit on your business. Maybe it's a manufacturing unit or it's a retail outlet, and you just sit there and handle it. So that's what it. But I was very social. A lot of friends that some point of time, my father was very irritated that he is having so many friends. So it was a good memories of childhood. No complaints.
Okay, so how was your college life, and what did you major in, and what was your expectations from college?
Oh, that's very interesting, actually. In our family, they don't give much importance to college life, because their idea is that when you have to you have to handle your business or sit on your showrooms or retail outlets, you don't have much choice. So simple is that you finish your grade 12th, and after that you sit on your business, and as early as you learn the finer nuances of business, that's better for us. And college you can do privately. So in fact, that was so not much expectation from the college. It was like we have to do privately the college and sit on the showroom. So I think not much out of college.
Okay, so like, was there any specific dream job that you had in mind, or it was like, I will handle the business end?
I started with the business which my father was running, and but I decided in between, because I had a small disagreement with my father, and I decided that I have to pursue college. So I pursued the college and did my graduation and post graduation in economics, and and that I did privately, because then from jumping from your from here to that, when I had a disagreement, and I said nothing doing, I have to build my own life. Though I'm very, I love my father, I love my parents like all others, but some things, they get into your brain as a child, because you are young, you are energetic, and you have that you know attitude about you that I can do anything. You know,
Right.
or maybe I would say that that's the credit goes to my parents, that they have given me that kind of confidence and will, that I can do anything. So I told my father that I'm leaving. So as soon as I finished my college, I moved out of my house. And one day he said, things were escalated. And one day he said, get up from my house. So I said, okay, I'm not kind of a person who really, uh, or I've been raised in that environment where you don't ask question from your elders. Giving going back. My father was born in 50s, and you can very well understand. Fathers at that time, you are scared of, and they have that aura about them. And so I said, okay, I'm going. So I've gone. I was, without thinking, I thought, let's go and make my own destiny. So if you talk about the dream job in the college, when I ponder back, and at that time also, I'm not very good at taking orders. So I think principal's job was the best job you can describe, where you order, you don't take orders. So I think that could have been the best job, if I look at the college and want to go for any job there. So that's what it is.
Okay. So the point when your father told you to like leave the house and go. So was there anything you
Hmm.
had in your mind? Okay, okay, now my father has told me this is what I need to do and I will do.
No, the only thing was in my mind to just get out of the house, because once you are hurt someplace inside, and then you just want to prove your point. I wanted to get out and prove my point by doing something on my own. That, okay, look, I've done it.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not scared. I was not scared because I knew that I had to do anything to start with. In doing odd jobs, I can do that. So for livelihood was not question. The only fear I had in my mind, because I come from a small city in Uttar Pradesh,
Mm-hmm.
which is called Saharanpur, and our family is spread in Saharanpur and Dehradun. So the only hitch I had in mind, that the jobs are in big cities like Delhi. So I decided to go to Delhi. The only thing that I was coming from a family where they never spoke in English, and I was throughout a Hindi medium boy, and didn't know any clue about English. If I show you the first biodata I made in English, the resume, you'll laugh it out. I mean, what I wrote in that. But still, I landed a job. But thanks to the guy sitting on the other side of the table, who could really see my confidence and my willpower. So he ruled over, this English is not important. But yes, I was concerned that because from small background going to a major metropolitan city, you are a bit scared. So that was the only age. Otherwise, all was, I was confident.
So what was the first job you landed?
Okay, so when I told this thing to my grandfather, I said I'm going. So he was very concerned because he loved me a lot, and he said, okay, hold on, so I'll go with you to Delhi. I said, okay. So finally we got together, and my uncle, one of my uncle was living in Delhi. So he said, I'll just go there and tell the uncle to keep you for a while till the time you find a job, and you live there so that you can, your, boarding and lodging is taken care of, and then you can. And then we gone to my uncle place, and they told story that he had a, बड़े तो ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ना कि पापा के साथ लड़ाई हो गई. But I would rather say disagreement, rather than a ladai, because बड़ों से आप लड़ तो नहीं सकते. So, he took me there and left me there. And in fact, the first job, very interestingly, I got because of him. Because he had one friend whose daughter was married to a very uh, affluent family in Friends Colony, and they had a adjacent wall from one company called Grosnet.
Okay.
So Grosnet Industry, Mr. Bummy. So that friend, this spoke to him, and they said, okay, so you got a job. But it I had to start someplace. So that was a job I landed into. That was a clerical job. They were into export, and you have to just maintain documents and stuff like that. And they gave me the salary of 1,750 rupees per month. And I was living with my uncle, which I lived there for 6 months. And after that, I left that place, and then gone into the media, starting with the different media houses, worked with Times of India, worked with Dalal Street Shear Journal. Then I was a part of Sunday Mail newspaper launched by Dalmia initially. So that's how journey started. So that's what it is.
Okay. So from your first job and working with the media houses, and so where exactly did you make your place in the social world?
Uh, my grandfather was, I have a great influence of my grandfather on me, because he was he was a very socially involved. So he started with, with the widows, getting them married again, and starting skilling center for them in swing. They made a Silai Kendra, jisko hum bolte hain, and going out and helping people wherever he could, building temples. So that's what he did. He was a great man. So that, you can say that was in my blood. But once you go out, your first thing is to make money. At that time, there were not much. I'm talking about early 90s. There were not much non-profit. There was no CSR funds and stuff like that. So I guess, but all along, I'm having a compassionate heart. That's for sure, and his influence on me. So then I started, when I really found my ground after working with a couple of companies, and uh, then I started this initiative called School X, where I saw there was a big gap. I gone to a school for the admission of my child, and uh, they were very, not very forthcoming with, looking at the intelligence of the child, and taking decision on a different aspect, maybe donations and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So then I decided I need to do something. Then I built this SchoolX platform, where all schools used to come compete with each other, and ultimately parents used to win, because on a 2-day platform in different 10 cities, I started with working with 800 schools. So it was a ease for, and always promoting no donations, culture. So that, and then later a lot of liberal school came in, and platform got very successful. We have a huge amount of success stories with the parents who said it's a blessing that we don't have to go school to school on such a platform. Then from after School X, we were thinking of about social responsibility in early stage, and seeing all these multinational companies that they are taking from our country and not giving back. So we decided we have to do something. So I lobbied for the CSR bill,
Okay.
which was passed in 2013 and implemented from 2014 April. So I, lobbied that for a bill strongly, so that they should give back. Giving you an example where all these companies, like let's talk about a multinational company, Coca-Cola, wherever they have a plant, the water level goes down. Or the cement companies, when they, in Rajasthan, you see cutting all the mountain and making cement out of it. So they have to replenish or look at the alternates to make those kind of things, maybe cement, or now they are making with ash. ash from these coal plants. So we decided on that, and we pushed for the bill, and bill got passed. I'm very happy about. And then we started, Live Week. In the meantime, then Live Week was always, and always wanted to do, something in social. And then we started Live Week, and started giving, advisory to all these corporations, setting up their CSR departments, and holding CSR conferences, workshop, training, because it was a early, industry. Because CSR was and business sustainability. If you see outside the country, in Western world, in United States, the majority, their business thing is sustainability. CSR, corporate social responsibility, comes under sustainability. Here in India, we talk about more CSR, not sustainability. Now, sustainability also have come in, but at that time, I'm talking about 2010, when the file was moved with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Sachin Pilot was the, Corporate Affairs Minister at that time. So from there, CSR, and then we established NGO Expo platform, because we realized that CSR money, how these corporates are going to spend this money, because non-profits and they are the guys who are executing the project at the grassroots level, and they are more aware about the grassroots reality rather than the corporate. They want to run their businesses. If they are manufacturing, Tata Steel in manufacturing steel, their job is to manufacture steel. And like, if Aditya Birla is into cement manufacturing, or textile, so their job is to textile. They don't know what to do. So building a bridge between all the corporations and the non-profits. So NGO Expo came in. So that's how we have moved forward there in the social sphere. But still, it's all business for profit. Social enterprise for business. It's still, I've not entered non-profit. Non-profit happened later, which we'll talk about now.
Okay. So what were the obstacles while you were lobbying the bill back then?
Obstacle, basically from the corporations, because they were not ready. Let's talk about Tata's and Aditya Birla Group. They are already spending not 2%, 7 and 8%, because these companies are, from the very beginning, they are socially motivated. Because if you see their venture from the initial days, founding this Bits Pilani and Lakshmi Narayan Temple and Birla School, and Tata in Jamshedpur, doing so much for the communities from the very beginning. So not that these guys Bill came from. Bill came for the guys who were not really interested into giving back. They just wanted to make profit and do the mining thing. If they have mines, they will just excavate the mining and take the coal out, and not replenishing, or if they have acquired the land, for their manufacturing unit. Their responsibility is for the people who are displaced because of acquiring that land. They should be given jobs. Their education of their kids should be taken care of. They should have health and hygiene and sanitation, and small housing should be developed for them, because you are taking their land. So those companies who were not very never wanted to give back, they were more concerned that if this bill would come out, they have to spend that kind of money, which they were not interested in. But thank God that that bill got passed, and now CSR makes because of CSR money, we make huge impact in lives of so many people around. And government saw the big opportunity in this. Government saw that if the CSR fund would be there, that can be utilized for the community, and it will ease out the government burden also. In fact, if you look at the CSR money is hugely invested in Swachh Bharat mission of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi today, and other Namami Gange and other social initiatives. So that's what it is. In fact, today we talk about this Corona, COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. So huge CSR money has been used to help people all over the country. So see, if this fund was not there, we could have not done much in this sphere today. So it's good. It's good we have CSR.
Okay, so I have this instance where, as a school project, we visited a very influential social enterprise, and we spoke to the founder. So one of the people from the core committee, they said to us, "अरे कहाँ इसमें फंस गए यार, तुम corporate में जाओ, अच्छे पैसे वैसे कमाओ." So there's this common belief कि अगर तुम social sector में हो, तो you cannot earn as much as the corporate person is earning. Does the youth um, does not prefer to work in a social sector or even think about it for once without even knowing the reality है जो भी सच है. So how would you say this statement is true or false?
I disagree completely, and it's a mental block I think we have, around us. If you look at United States, non-profit and social sector is the third largest sector
Mm-hmm.
in terms of revenue and employment
Okay.
after retail and manufacturing. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about today in our country, it's huge. But the difference in our country and there is here, the people working in non-profit sector, they want to sit on the money and don't want to give opportunity to the people. I'm not talking about the leading top non-profits. I'm talking about the generally, the trust has been made and money has been flowing into those trusts. They are doing good. But at the end of the day, we have to create employment, uh, hire competent people, bring in more professional, and train more people in today's context, so that it become their education become, in sync with the current environment,
Right.
so that we can make more impact. If we get more professional people in the non-profit sector, then we'll generate more revenue. We do more work, and when we do more work, more impact is made. So it's a mental block. It's changing,
Mm-hmm.
and I see a lot of young non-profits are coming in. They are doing wonderful job.
Right.
Their challenge is, always the fundraising. But
Mm-hmm.
if you have a right kind of a project, if you can communicate your project to the people, people are compassionate. So everyone is compassionate somehow or the other. They might be related with different issues who are close to their heart. But I think people can get good opportunity and getting good opportunity. Not can get, they are getting good opportunities in non-profit sector. That's what I feel. So it's a myth. I mean, no.
Okay. So what do you
And
think is a
I would request more and more people to come and join in as a non-profit sector and make the sector a huge influencer and impactful, industry as a
right?
whole, so
Mm-hmm.
that we can do more good for the issues in hand, all around us.
So, what do you think is the right way to approach people when you're starting a non-profit venture? How do you make them like trust you?
You have to lead by example, I guess. Uh, you know, I tell you about our non-profit here. You know, uh, a small part of our non-profit. I tell you that we at Charitnation, you know, it's a very young non-profit. We founded the in April 2019 in United States.
Okay.
Uh, it's a 501c3 company there, as in Charitnation Limited, a corporation. Uh, why I founded it? It's. I'll just finish in quickly because my wife got very sick there, and after delivering my daughter Kalyani. So
Mm-hmm.
at that time, we almost reached to a stage where it was life and death for us. So at
Okay.
that particular moment, I decided, when after doing so much in life and getting, establish ourselves, still we cannot control our destiny. So the best way is to do something good for society, give back. So at that moment, I discussed with my wife when she recovered that I want to start this, and we started Charitnation. And we came back to India, and in India, it's registered as a public charitable trust,
Mm-hmm.
Charitnation Trust, which got registered in August 2019. So the first project, we decided that we'll work for children, their education. So two areas we were thinking. One, education of the children from the underprivileged background. Second was skilling of the uh, youth who are passing out from 12th standard, again from the marginalized background. So
Okay.
these two areas we wanted to concentrate on. So when we decided on how to now reach out to these kids who need us, so we started going to government primary schools in Uttarakhand. So I visited around 100 schools. So what I found was that the children who are studying there, they are coming from a very poor background. Uh, Children of maids, drivers, and so on and so forth. Very marginalized. They don't have shoes. They don't have school bags. They don't have stationery. So our idea was that our idea is that we want to improve the infrastructure of these government schools, provide them with the basic uh, their school uniform, bags, books. The it's very sad today that initially government used to provide uh, them uniform and books,
Mm.
but now the government has started doing putting that school uniform and the books money into their account in DBT scheme.
Okay.
So that directly goes into the account and
Mm.
parents use that money because their need for food is more than the need of school books.
Right.
So we saw this gap and we said, okay, we'll provide them this. So this session, April 2020, we started providing them with school bags, stationery, stuff like that, and thus improving the system of the infrastructure and the system of the running of the school of this government primary school, plus giving them good push in maths and English
Okay.
through our volunteers, and also teaching them about social responsibility and giving them values. Because उन लोग के पेरेंट्स जो हैं वो इतने बिजी हैं अपनी लाइफ से लड़ने में कि वो भूल जाते हैं कि उन बच्चों को ये सब चीजें भी देनी है, क्योंकि उनके पास टाइम नहीं है। देते हैं वो, बट उस तरह से नहीं। तो इनको हमें और सोशली रिस्पॉन्सिबल अगर इन बच्चों को हम बना दें, तो कल को जो हम देखते हैं अपने अराउंड कि हम वी आर ट्रैवलिंग ऑन द रोड, इसे कि भाई इन्होंने गाड़ी कैसे खड़ी कर दी, समवन इज स्पिटिंग सम प्लेस, ड्राइविंग कैसे करते हैं ये लोग, looking at the women, how they are looking at, not giving respect to elders and the way to vehicle coming behind. This is all education. So we thought we'll do that also, and we started doing that, and immediately this COVID happened. So we put our whole energy into this COVID pandemic and our humanitarian efforts through Charitnation. We have impacted 4,000 families. Now coming back to that, how we enter and make people trust you. As I told you, I invested my own money to start with in this. And we gone out and we registered ourselves with the COVID-19 government website and NGO Darpan by Niti Aayog, and we started getting calls. Once we started getting calls, we started going out to people with the food supplies, dry food items, a kit complete, giving them, and making data of that. And then we started disseminating that data to people and friends, some pictures, some videos, and then people started getting together, and all friends and relatives and other people I know, different walks of life, they got together with us and we made a mark. Now Charitnation is you go online, you'll find a lot of stories, and that proved that I want to recite a couplet here. मैं तो अकेला ही चला था मंजिल की तलाश में, लोग जुड़ते गए कारवां बनता गया. So that's how it happened, and trust generated because they were looking at that we are doing it actually. If we share data with you, you'll say, "Oh, what a wonderful work we have done with the people," and I feel more content and happy today. So, so that's how Charitnation came in, and I think you have to lead by example. You do it, you show it to people, they'll be with you. It's not like that. You just go out with nothing and say, "Okay, I want to do it." But first, you have to do it yourself. कोई बहुत ज्यादा नहीं उसमें लगाना है एफर्ट. आप थोड़ा सा जाके, अगर आपको लगता है कोई आपके अराउंड बच्चा है, उसे जाके आप पढ़ा दें रेगुलरली, अगर आपके पास टाइम. हम 3 तरीके से दान देते हैं ना. हाउ वी डोनेट? Either we donate money, or we donate time, or we donate our expertise.
Right.
So we all have, so I think we have made a impact, great impact. Yes.
Okay, so what would you say is your vision for Charitnation to the next 5 or 10 years?
It has to be one of the top non-profit impacting lives in India and US, and we make sure it happened, because we have to make a larger impact. That's the vision. And because I am 50 now, so whatever time I have in my life, I really want to make a great organization which can be run even when I leave this earth. So it should be run as a trust, and we have to see the exit plan and how it keep on running when even this whole team which is today is not there. So that's the plan.
Beautiful. So what would you say is the best thing that happened to you, or the best incident that you look back working all these years in the social sector?
Okay, the one is the lobbying for the CSR bill. Because of that, you can see, a lot of impact has been, it's billions of dollars of rupee which goes into the CSR, and how many lives must have been impacted till now. One. Second is when we decided to start our initiative, of course, you need money to run any initiative. Only lobbying would not give you, your bread. So in that time, we were creating this platform called CSR Live Week. It was the first ever conference on CSR, corporate social responsibility and business sustainability in India. In fact, now it has gone to US also. We are conducting in US and London. It was the first ever, conference in India. So we were thinking that we need to bring in corporates. The idea behind that, sensitize people. The idea behind that, whatever goodness corporations were doing through their philanthropic work, maybe it's Tata's, Aditya Birla's. So, I had a thing in my mind that today we go out on the road, on a bus stop, and if we ask people what Tata is doing, they would know Tata is making car, Tata is making, steel, Tata is doing many other business commercial things they will tell. But if you ask what socially Tata is doing, maximum people, they don't have any clue. Or these public sector enterprises, or what Birla is doing, still Birlas are visible because they made school, colleges, Tata also. But still people are not aware. It's like, out of sight, out of mind. So we wanted to create a platform to invoke young generation, college students, and SMEs, that you have to do something social. You have to make an impact with your little bit earnings. You have to keep aside for doing social. So we created this platform, and we said we'll bring in corporation. Now, when we started going to the corporation, so they were very shocked on a thought that what we are going to show, because they had all the experience in going to the big exhibition like Auto Expo, machine tools. They were showing their products, but here, what to show? I told them that here you show your goodness. So we created this platform where, and thankfully, the first meeting I had with the incident you are talking about, which is most, I cherish in my heart. The first meeting we did with, we called up Rashri Birla ji from Aditya Birla Group, and in our office that we would like to meet her, and this is the platform we are creating. And she invited us. So me and my, partner in life also and business also, Mugdha. So we went there and we met her, and she agreed to sponsor the, conference. So that gave us confidence, and she said, and I asked her that in my childhood, because I was very enterprising, so I shown her told her that I read the book of B.M. Birla when I was, maybe 22, 23 years old, and she was very happy, and we had a very nice chat with her, and I asked her that you inaugurate the conference also, and she agreed. So that's how it started, and she came, and now Aditya Birla is, I would say, they are the leading partners and sponsors and mentors for all my initiatives in a big way. And thanks to Rashri ji and her vision and her devotion for social impact. And so that's what it is. After that, everybody fallen in line. We went to Tata, JSW, Jindal Steel and Power, Maruti, and many other companies, Bosch, Panasonic, all fall in place. And it was a huge show, putting big stalls where they were showcasing their social impact stories. We invited college students from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, MIT, and other whatnot, Jamnalal Bajaj Institute, and XLRI, and IMITs. So it was a huge show. It started back in 2011, and so that's very close to my heart.
Okay, so like you spoke about the CSR Live Week, can you also tell us about the Mahatma Awards and what is the vision behind that?
Okay, so Mahatma Award, I'm very Mahatma Gandhi is very close to my heart. I follow him, try to follow him to the T. उनको आप फॉलो कितना कर सकते हैं वो तो अपने आप में बहुत बड़े हैं, वास्ट हैं. But he is my mentor, my guru, and everything. So I wanted to start the awards, and a lot of my corporate clients, because Golden Peacock Award and other awards all over the world, there are many awards. They said, why not something in social? So then I wanted to start something with because the guy who is doing good, he's like Mahatma, a good soul. So it's a Sanskrit word called Mahatman. From here it is derived. So I wanted to start something, so we called it Mahatma Award. We launched the award in 2000. We initiated in 2016, and first Mahatma Award happened in New York City in 2017 on the sidelines of 71st, annual United Nations Annual General Assembly, and it was a huge success. And then when we did there, a lot of people said, "Why you started from US?" So Mahatma Gandhi to India came. I said, "No, Mahatma Gandhi is global. He's not. I mean, he's a global, inspiration." So then we started doing in India. Launched India last year, which was launched by Rashri Birla ji, whereby we are two awards: Mahatma Awards for Social Good for non-profits, and Mahatma Award for Corporate Social Responsibility for corporations and public sector enterprises. And where last year in India, we given the award to 90 organizations, including ITC, Tata's, and many non-profit like Save the Children, Child Help Organization, Foundation, and ISKCON का food initiative hai, that has been selected, and Ekal Vidyalaya has been chosen. So we are growing. People aspire to take this award, and it's a great accomplishment for us, doing something from the name of Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay, so sir, like you spoke about your partner in life and as well as your business. So what has been her role?
Her role is that I could have not been here without her. So Mugdha has been a pillar of strength uh, all these years, and I design and conceptualize any project we are doing, and she takes care of the business development and marketing side. But having said that, it's a very small introduction for her. She's very strong. She's very uh, pushing. So I think she's the one we are here because of her. So it's a great journey together. We started long back. So we have been together for now 30 years. So this is what it is.
Okay. So, sir, can you tell us if a company is hiring a person to look after their CSR, what qualities would a company look in the person?
Uh, One, you need to be compassionate because when you talk about CSR, it's social responsibility, responsibility towards uh, stakeholders. Uh, Society is your stakeholders, your employees are your stakeholders, your shareholders are your stakeholders, uh, people at large, your stakeholders. And so you have to be compassionate. One, while being compassionate, you have to be firm. Uh, Sometimes you have to really put your strong foot down in front of your management to
Mhm.
get your things done, because sometimes you are feeling for people and management is not feeling for people, or so you have to really put your strong foot down. And you know, this is second. Third is you have to be very careful with the money, with the CSR fund. You should know how to make impact, major impact, with a very small amount of money.
Okay.
It's not really very important to have a lot of money to make a
Mhm.
big impact. With a small amount of money, you can take major impact. So these three things are very important. Who is aspiring to be part of the corporate social responsibility team, and of course, you should be having uh, that malleability to adjust into the corporate uh, environment where there's a lot of diplomacy, where there's a lot of politics, where you have to take care of a lot of things. So I think these four things, you should have.
Okay. And what is the correct mindset? Like what what was your mindset when you faced all these things in the year, and then you became a person like out of your personal growth?
I assert myself. You have to be assertive
Okay.
because nobody's going to give you space,
Mm.
because there are so many people in this country. Creating a space for yourself is a very difficult task. First, you should, follow your words. What you say, you must do. Lead by example.
Yes.
Second, you have to assert yourself.
Mm.
Nobody is going to give you a push. You have to take your own push, while keeping in mind the respectability of other people you are dealing with. It's a very double-edged sword kind of a thing. Uh, so I think I'm very headstrong in that manner. As I told you that I'm not very good at taking orders, but cohesively I'm a very good team player. And once you give opportunity to other people, and uh, then you grow. So that's what it is. I feel that we have to give opportunity to people around us, not doing everything by yourself. You have to motivate and promote people, because they are the guys who are going to do things. How alone and how long you can go alone. So
Right.
that's the challenge in front of all of us,
Mm-hmm.
having more people engaged in your project. And so I think that's what gave me the push always.
Okay.
I
So
hope I answered your question.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So, what is your one advice for the youth who is seeking to build a career in the CSR sector or the social sector in general?
The advice is that you have to be compassionate. You can feel the if you can feel the pain of others, only then you get into it. If you are going just for a good salary and uh, a tag that I'm working in a corporate environment, social responsibility sector, it would not work. You have to feel for others, you know. I tell you a story. A couple of days ago, you know, one pregnant woman around 28 years of old came to my house with her 5-year-old daughter, Roshni. And she came to know that we are distributing food kits to daily wage earners and migrant workers. And she heard it from some place. She came to my house, and I, you know, we gave her the food kit. In the meantime, once my wife was inside to bring the food kit out, I was talking to that girl. I was sitting down, and so that my level with that girl, you know, be the same. And I was talking to her. I said, "Which, you know, do you go to school?" She said, "Yes, I go to school." Okay, which class you study in? KG, she said. And I asked, "Which subject you like?" She said, ABCD. I said, "Okay, tell me ABCD." So fluently, she told me ABCD. I said, "Okay, I'll also tell you ABCD. Should I tell you?" She said, "Yes, tell me." And she laughed. I recited. I someplace, you know, got a little bit haywire at one alphabet, but I also narrated. And I said, "देखो, मैं तो रुक गया, मेरे को भूल गया मैं तो." And she was laughing. I was, generating that comfort uh, between me and her. And once they left, I cried like anything. I really found myself very poor at that time. I said, what we can give this girl, Roshni, who has such a bright future tomorrow, and who is, going with her mother, asking for food, what impact she's having uh, in her mind, and she must be taking a lot of decisions that मैं कुछ ऐसा करूंगी अपनी जिंदगी में कि मेरी माँ को, मेरे को या मेरे बच्चों को कभी ऐसा ना करना पड़े. बट वो तभी होगा रोशनी के लिए जब हम लोग रोशनी के साथ खड़े होंगे, उसका हाथ पकड़ लेंगे इस एज में, और जो उसका ड्रीम वो सोचे उसको पूरा करने में उसको हेल्प करेंगे. सो आई थिंक you should have, after this life, I'm still having that compassion. I cried, and cried, and after that I spoke to one of my friend on the phone, and I cried. uh, so that kind of feeling, if you are having, believe me, you will go and achieve heights in your social career. Unless and until you have this, you don't have compassion, you don't have life there. After, if you are going for there to make money, no, you will, you'll be thrown out actually, but by yourself only. So that's what it is. You need that.
Okay. So, sir, I see you're also a very avid reader. I can see a lot of books behind you. So,
Yeah, actually I got into the habit of reading because of Mugdha.
okay.
Because she reads a lot. In fact, my son Krishna, he reads a lot. So yes, I also started reading books.
Okay. So, what are those, like 2 or 3, or just a single book you would suggest everyone to read?
Uh, it'll be very difficult to suggest a single book. I mean, if let's say nowadays I'm in a very different mindset since uh, April 2019 when we started Charitnation. I'm into absolutely social impact mode, and I'll be doing social work for the rest of my life. That's what the path I've chosen. Though I've already spent 30 years of my life doing something other, but my calling is this, which I found now. So I would suggest The Bankers to the Poor is a very good book. It's with me here. Uh, Creating a World Without Poverty by Mohammad Yunus in Bangladesh, because he
Right.
started this Grameen Bank, which is a very good book. This is in social impact. This I have finished, and I sometimes read it again, because when you read the book, let's say you have read some book 5 years back, and today you have become more mature, so reading that book again give you more insight,
Right.
unfold many other concept in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
The same way, the other book is the Three Cups of Tea uh, by Mortensen. So this book is talk about that how American guy build schools for uh, girls in Pakistan in arid region of Upper Kashmir region, uh, which is Pakistan occupied Kashmir that
Mm-hmm.
side. So that's again. So in social aspect, if you say these two books are very good, and then if you talk about spirituality, then we have a book called The True Name by Osho, which is very good, which is this book.
Okay.
Uh, and then, okay, when I wanted to start the education uh, vertical of my nonprofit, then this book by Fareed Zakaria, this In Defense of a Liberal Education, this is a very good book
Mm-hmm.
to how we can improve the education system in India and what is being education system in Europe and other part of the world. So this book is again good. And like if you want, books in business strategy for sustainability, uh, that is a very strategy for sustainability is a very good book by Adam. This is again a good book. So many other books. What do you want to read? You want to read about business? You want to read about biography? You want to read about social if you are.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many books. I mean,
Okay, so sir, you are also currently the editor of the two books, one being Social Good Book and the other being CSR Good Book. So can you tell us about that?
yes. Yeah, CSR Good Book is a compendium of strongest, sustainable, and socially responsible brands, corporations, and foundations, where every year we are highlighting the case studies of um, uh, the organizations and corporations in social sphere, how they are making impact. So that's the book about, and it was the first book in CSR in India when it was launched in
Mm-hmm.
2011. So we are in 10th year now, and because one year we published two books, so it's 10th edition, and we are doing very good. And this is a ready reckoner for all the CSR heads and students into social who want to make career out of you know uh, social aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great book and insight that every year you get to know what Tata has done, what Birlas have done, what Microsoft have done, what Lakshmi Nivas Mittal has done through his organization. So you get all the info. So it's a you'll find in all the heads and they're lined up these book 10 volumes for 10 years lying there. So it's a great achievement for us that we could compile and consolidate this kind of a publication. And social book is completely it's a book which we launched in internationally in New York, where we are profiling and giving the case studies of social organizations uh, all out there, like Plan International, Save the Children, uh, World Vision, these kind of organizations, and many other young organizations
Mm-hmm.
like Arpan organization is doing very good work in Mumbai for the child sexual abuse. So these kind of organization stories, case study rather, I would not say story, case studies published that what they have done, how they have impact, and how
Mm-hmm.
many lives they have impacted. So these two books are great ready reckoner whosoever in the social responsibility and social good impact sector.
Okay, so sir, where can we read your books?
It's available online, or you may write to us. We'll send you. We'll every year
Okay,
distribute
okay.
many copies,
Mm-hmm.
free of cost. So IIT, IMT libraries are having these kind of
Okay,
books. This this
okay.
this, this particular book.
So, sir, your one advice to everyone struggling during the lockdown financially and mentally.
Uh, if you are struggling financially, there are many organizations uh, working around you. Find an organization, reach out to them, tell them what you are going through,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be more than happy to help you. Like Charitnation, we are particularly right now working in Uttarakhand and Gurgaon, Haryana. So if somebody reach out to us, we always help them. This is one way. Another, reaching out to the government, which is doing, substantial work. But reach out to non-profit, because government would take some time, or reaching out to your counselor, your MLA or member of parliament, so they'll be able to help you. Mentally, of course, if you are struggling, then you have to really reach out to your loved ones and your family and talk to them. Sometimes we hide, sometimes we don't want to disclose because it shows that you are weak. No, it's not like that. When you share what you are going through with your family, you become stronger, because then in that particular situation, 5 of the family or 6 of the or 10 of the family members are there. So you discuss with them. Gita is another book, Bhagavad Gita, which if we read, it gives you a lot of strength. This meditation is good, yoga is good. But if you're talking about marginalized people, telling them about reading Gita at that time and doing yoga and meditation, it is not worthwhile. Rather than, telling them, talk to each other, talk to friends, tell your empathy, tell your challenges and problems. Once you share, you become light at heart. So that's what my suggestion would be to people at large who are going through any kind of stress and problem. So कोई भी समय होता है, अच्छा समय के बाद बुरा समय, बुरे समय के बाद अच्छा समय. It's a part of life. It's life. Even Ratan Tata, mentioned in one statement that if it's going like this, you are dead. Even the ECG machine says the line is, like this, you're dead. But if it's going in a sine wave manner, you are still alive. Going ups and downs is part of life. So that's what it is.
So, sir, I would like to thank you for giving us your time. And Charitnation and you are doing such amazing work and making a huge impact on the country.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to me. I hope my talk today can reach out to people and they can drive some inspiration from this. So this interview with you will be successful, even if after listening to this interview or watching this, even one life is impacted. Then I think the job at both ends, my end or your end, is done.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's what I want to say.
Absolutely.
Thank you once again.
Yeah, it's about making small impacts and then eventually making a huge impact out of it.
Yes.